couple days ago, my friend Nikki and I decided to take on the task of rug tufting, which is basically just a fancier way of saying making rugs. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I saw somebody doing it on TikTok. It looked pretty easy, fun to do, so I decided to buy myself a tufting gun, which is the sketchiest thing I have ever bought on the internet. I'd say it took around a month or so for the gun to ship from China, so we got the rest of the materials, and it was time to start making things happen. So there were a few things we had to do before we actually started tufting our first rug. One of them being building a frame to staple the fabric onto. And Nikki built the whole frame. I didn't do a single thing. I kind of just stood around there with my hands in my pockets like every so often. I'd be like, yeah man, looks good. I was really helpful. You know what I mean? Keeping conversations going. I was just a motivational conversationist at that point. He was doing everything.
I just want to make sure this works. Nice. Got a frame. Jeez. We should make a Kit Kat rug. Oh, I don't say it. Bro, this is too much.
So we got the frame built, and the next thing we needed to do was staple the fabric onto the frame. This would have been a very easy process if we bought the right staples. Is it broken?
For some reason, the staples are so tight in here. Oh, I think we have the wrong staples.
Are you serious?
What?
We don't need a staple. We just use nails. So what a regular person would have done is gone back to the store and buy the right staples, but we're just too stubborn to do that. You'd think such a hardcore, challenging, tedious task like that needed some motivational speaking, and there I was, 20 Kit Kats down, carrying us to the victory, and proving that you didn't need the right staples for the gun and you could figure out another way. Thinking outside the box, that's what conceptseby does.
We're never doing this again. We're getting the right staples next time.
All this fucking work for a fucking rug.
Give this to me, bro.
How about the dots just fucking out across the room? I tried helping, but I kept fucking it up and Nikki yelled at me, so I kind of just sat there, ate some more Kit Kats. We ended up hanging up the fabric onto the frame, and it was on to the next step, which was tufting the actual rug. Like what people do also too, is after they make the rug, they shear it with like a carpet shearer, and it's like all nice and even and shit. Do you have like something to fish this through, like a small water?
Through what?
I think that's it. I swear to God. Alright, stick, it works. Jeez. Oh, get a Sharpie too.
To press that hard into it?
You can stab it through. Dude, I fucked it up. Not even circle. It goes so fast. This has to be tighter. We went with just like simple designs because it was our first time. We kind of just wanted to get a feel for it, feel how the gun works, and just kind of understand tufting in general. The immediate problem that I noticed right away was that the fabric needed to be tighter. Every time you try to stitch into the fabric, it just wouldn't hold. It was just way too loose. Nikki's amazing staple job and my amazing motivational speech might as well did a fucking, why do I keep saying TikTok? I've tried saying this 3 times in a row. I keep saying TikTok instead of TED Talk. My motivational TED Talk speech that I gave to Nikki. I'm so flustered because it's my 4th time trying to say TED Talk. So Nikki's amazing staple job, my motivational TED Talk speech that I gave to him didn't live up to the expectation. We had to go back to the store and buy the right staples. We might have accepted defeat, sure, but at least we tried. Oh yeah, that's proper. I feel like doing the more like curves and intricate shit will be easier if we have like good fucking fabric, you know?
Yeah.
We use burlap as our fabric and it's just so shit. It was the only thing we could find at Walmart. Every time you'd stab the needle through and stitch through, it just didn't hold the yarn very well. It would create like these giant ass holes. Another like really annoying problem that we had was that the yarn would constantly come out of the gun. So like to constantly fish the yarn back through the needles and stuff is just so annoying. The reason it kept happening was because the gun would stitch so fast and use so much yarn that the yarn couldn't keep up and just create like a tension between the gun and the like spool of yarn that it would just pull out of the gun every time you'd pull away from the fabric. There's probably a better solution, but what we ended up doing is Nikki stood beside me and just had to feed me yarn constantly while I was tufting. Rug tufting is definitely harder than it looks, but it's not something that like a regular person can do. The only thing that you do need is a space for it, for like the frames and all that kind of stuff. That's why we did it at Nikki's house, because like what the fuck. If you're thinking about getting into it and you're just kind of curious on how much we spent to kind of get started into it, overall we spent around like $300. That's for the gun, all the materials. But that being said, we did buy just like the bare minimum cheap shit. We didn't go like too crazy. You can buy obviously different better quality stuff, different fabrics, yarns, that kind of thing, and the price will obviously rise up. I watched a lot of YouTube tutorials from this one kid named Flavor World. I think he does like a really good job on explaining the basics of tufting, how to buy a frame, what to use, that kind of thing. I'm just an idiot who just decided to start making rugs, so obviously go check out his stuff if you're more curious and you want to know more about tufting. He does it like full out. Overall, it was a lot of fun. I didn't expect myself to be making rugs at some point in my life, but here I am making rugs. That's gonna be it for this video. I appreciate you guys watching. I'll talk to you later. Peace.